Thursday, March 19th. We are live at the New York Stock Market afternoon session. Glad you can join us. Okay, and here we go. All right, going to take a look at news coming out today, and I think there's some important red news happening at the top of the hour. 2 o'clock Eastern. We have the federal funds rate and FOMC economic projections and FOMC statement. And then at 2:30, we have FOMC press conference. So it should be an interesting little 2 o'clock to 2:30 time in the markets here today. I don't know if it's going to be a surprise or what, but we'll find out. So looking pretty good there for today. Let's take a look at that's Bitcoin. Bitcoin marched along quite a bit here from yesterday. Straight up in the air, beautiful move. Take a look at the U.S. dollar versus the Euro U.S. dollar, and on the hourly time frame, we have a very strong U.S. dollar today. Yesterday we had a very weak U.S. dollar. So yesterday we were down, today we were up quite a bit. So just the opposite for all the currency traders here. Since we have a strong U.S. dollar, Aussie U.S. dollar would be down. We looked at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up. Euro U.S. dollar would be down. GBP U.S. dollar would be down. Not so much though. It's battling there. So GBP is quite strong. New Zealand US dollar would be down. USD CAD would be up. USD Swiss should be up. And USD JPY should be up. And they are. Okay, so opportunities in those currencies for sure. Oil up very strongly. These are all on the hourly time frame. Silver down. So quite a drop. Gold should be down as well. Not as much as silver, interesting. But did come down a little bit. So yeah, quite interesting there. Let me just see how my keep it down a little bit. Keep it down a bit today. So we've taken a little hiatus today. Let's see how it looks. Not bad. Still hanging in there though. So pretty good. All right, and let's take a look at Tesla for Peter's sake here. The Tesla popped up from yesterday, opened up quite strongly. Let me go to the 15. So we were down to the low. I was suspecting and expecting them that they would come down. Remember I was saying that the indices would come down, take out their lows. We had a 1, 2, 3, 4, looking for that one more drop, and they don't give it to us. They just pop right back up this morning. So very unusual not to get that fifth wave, but it does happen, and that's one of those times it didn't happen. So we pop right up, and now it looks like we're in a fourth wave. So Tesla pops open here, goes up for a little bit, drops back. So it's a sweep. They go back up, drop back in, and off they go. So now we're in a fourth wave, and we'd be looking for move out of here to take out these highs and continue up. So that's what I would expect. But since we didn't get a fifth wave down here, is it possible that they might not give us a fifth wave going up, and we could drop back, like you're saying there, Marquis, that maybe the indices and everything might collapse here. So we're going to find out in short order here what's going to happen. So be careful here, Peter. They could turn this down.
Yeah, no, I haven't touched Tesla this morning yet. I'm looking for an opportunity.
So there's
as I said before, I'm a little bit leery of.
Yeah, I can understand. There's S&P. We opened S&P up, and we went. They opened, we went up a little bit, dropped back. They did not sweep the lows, and then they went straight up, dropped back again. Another 1, 2, 3 here, up again. So at this point, we could say we're done. 1, 2, 3, 4, but we do have a 1, 2, 3 here, just like Tesla, and we're coming back down. So I would expect another move back to the upside to take out the highs. So again, this is going to be quite interesting here at the top of the hour to see what happens. So that's the S&P. So I want to see if there's divergence down here on the NAS. There might have been. No. Same kind of thing. Actually, there was, wasn't it? Yes, there was. Quite a divergence, actually. See how the low here is lower than this low here. And on the NASDAQ, it's the opposite way. So on the NASDAQ, we have the low here is higher than this low. So there was quite a divergence this morning when the market opened at 9:30. We did pop up first and then back down. So that's a big sweep and then strong move to the upside. And then we come back down, get made a 1, 2, 3, up to 4. Now we're in the fourth wave looking for price to push back to take out the highs. So that's what I would expect to happen. And it's making a liar out of me from yesterday, because yesterday, remember, I was saying that I was expecting them to come down and take out these lows. Now, let me go a little higher on the chart time frame here. So I was expecting them to come back down and take out all these lows over here. And they did come down as expected. I thought they would continue down overnight, but they turned it around all of a sudden in the middle of the night. So quite interesting that we didn't get that drop. So what they're doing then, and this is quite interesting, if we look at the big picture, we have a 1, 2, 3 here, big drop, and then we have an A and a B and a C and a D, and this is an E leg. So Marquis, I think we're heading down. I would think that the next move is going to be to the downside.
And we have news coming out here shortly, so this could be the preamble catalyst to it, or the catalyst, or it might be a fake out. That's the only reason I'm kind of shaky on whether I should try to catch it or not, because I
would expect this drop. So the only way we're not going to get that drop is if they are faking us out, and that's a possibility, of course, that they are. And that's it would be odd behavior here. But I was expecting them to take all these lows out. They only took the one out here, and I thought that we would take them all out. So it was very interesting in here, because it looked like at that point that was our E, and then we would come down, but they elongated it out and made this into the E at this point, right, all the way back up into this gap up here, and now it certainly looks like they're pointing to go down to take out all the lows this afternoon here. So the news is going to be quite interesting at the top of the hour.
Oh,
right.
wow.
For those,
I haven't been able to get on. Can you hear me, Lennox?
Yes. George.
I'm on my phone. I can't get onto the website. It says join call, but it terminates me. Okay, I'll figure something out.
Yeah. Did you try to reset your computer, George?
Pardon?
Sometimes you just have to turn it off and turn it back on.
Well, I'll restart the Skype, see if that works.
Try resetting your entire computer, George. Just power it down for a little bit and power it back up.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right, for those out in YouTube land there, we're new to the YouTube environment, and if you like what you're seeing, hearing, and watching, please give us a like and join our channel, subscribe. we would appreciate that very much. Okay, so here at the simple 1, 2, 3, what we're looking for again, I'm going to go over that just to make sure that everybody understands what we're basically looking for in setups. And oftentimes you'll see me going into trades without waiting for the perfect setup. And the reason why I do that is because on a personal level, I like to get in even before that perfect setup is in place. But for those who are learning and new, you don't have to do that. Of course, you can wait for the setup. So typically the setup that we're looking for, and in this case here, it's a sell opportunity, would be we get a move to the upside like this, and I'm on the 1 minute time frame here, and we want to see a sweep of the highs. So this move up swept the highs over to this level. So that would be a check mark. So we want to see 3 check marks at a minimum. So that would be our first one, the sweep of the highs. Then once we sweep the highs, we want to mark the low here, and we want to see a sweep of the low. So that would be another check mark. And that sweep of the low is perfect. Then we want to see a retrace back up to about the 50% level of this move here. So from that high to this low, we want to be back into about the 50 to 62% level on a retrace. That would present us a nice opportunity for a sell. So that's my 3 check marks. I can take that trade to the downside. Where am I going to take my profit? I would take my profit at a previous low over on this side, or I can go to, I like to go to 1.618. If I put the fibs onto this 1, 2, 3 right there, I would go to 1.618 or 1.272 or 1.41, whoops, messed up here. In between there's 1.414. So those 3, it's an area on the chart. These are specific numbers, of course, but it's an area. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for. So let me just mark it out. So I'll put the fib on, the Fibonacci expansion, and I'll be looking to take targets at 1.618 right there, 1.414 or 1.272, but it's an area. So you get into that. Even if you took profits right there, that would have been a reasonable profit at that point. Look at this thing dropping here. That would have been a reasonable profit at that point. You don't have to be waiting for that 1.618 or the 1.414 or the 1.272 at that point. So you could have taken profit right there on that drop because you get that pullback. You could also add to your position on pullbacks. So there's another 1, 2, 3 right there. There's a sweep. We get the drop back up again, and we catch that move down. So another 1, 2, 3 right there. So the first 1, 2, 3, the sweep, the retrace. So check mark, check mark, check mark. And then additionally, you can look for a gap. This is a gap that you can go back up to, and you can use an inverted gap like that one, or a regular gap. And there's one way up here, that one that was not reached. Now, or you can also use an order block, and in this case, the order block would be the blue candle right there, or the whole series of blue candles right there. So that's basically what I'm looking for. But I like the 50 to 62% retrace area, and that would be the entry to catch this move to the downside. So that's what we're looking for. But like I say, I like to jump in even earlier. So if I see, for example, this move down and this move back up, and we get a sweep at that point, and then I get a fractal, and a fractal would be considered 3 candles, one with a high, one with 2 lower highs. I would be taking the break of that for an entry. So right at the top there, right there, the break, I would use that for an entry. So I'm getting in very early, my risk is very small, and I would catch the entire move down to this level. I could always add to my position once I see everything has played out. I can all jump back in and add to my position. I can take something off here, so on. So there's lots of options once you get in early. When you can't really do this unless your confidence level is high and you have some experience at doing that. So, all right, so that's a look at the 1, 2, 3. That's what we're looking for. So, started at 1 o'clock, and so we just missed this move here just by a tad, because there was 2 1, 2, 3s back to back. So we had 1, 2, 3 here, another 1, 2, 3 right there, yet another one there, and then this drop. So opportunity for 3 possible entries on this here to catch that move to the downside. So 1, 2, 3s can occur anywhere on the chart, but you want to catch the ones particularly at the end of a move. And we're looking for a structure move, something like this, and then catching the 1, 2, 3 at the end of the move. In this case, something like this coming down, we want to catch the 1, 2, 3 at the end of the move. So this 1, 2, 3 is good. This 1, 2, 3 is good. You can catch 1, 2, 3s in here as well. It's a little tougher in here, but it's doable. All right. So hopefully that gives a synopsis of what we are looking for here. All right. So that's NASDAQ. So let's go up to the hourly and see what NASDAQ looks like. So interesting chart here. I've got from yesterday, I've got a 1, 2, 3 top. I've dropped to this level. And yesterday, I really thought that we were going to go up and come down right away and take out all these lows. And instead, we went up and we came down, but only took out 1 low. So I'm just going to drop down to the 15 or 30 there. That's better on the 30. Okay, so this move here, this drop, yesterday I thought that when we came up into this area that by this morning we would be taking these lows out. However, they came down and only took out 1 low, and then they went all the way back up. So why did they go all the way back up here? Interesting. So it looks to me that they did this structure, which is the typical 4th wave structure. So that gives us an A, a B, a C, a D, and then this is the E leg. So I'm kind of thinking that this was done, and we would get a move back to the downside to take out all these lows along the way. So I think that's what they're plotting here today, and the news might bear us out. I'd be very surprised, and it'd be not expected that they would do this move to the upside from here. So our structure dictates that we get a move that takes us down at this point. So we're right here. This would be right here. So I would not expect us to be going up any further. I would expect us to go down to take out the lows. So shall see what happens today. So I'm looking for, at this point, a 1, 2, 3. I'm on the 15 minutes, so on the 30 minutes. So I would want to see a 1, 2, 3 here to come back down. So on the 15 minute, I'm going to go hone in on this now. So on the 15 minute, I can see that we had a 1, 2, and we went up into a, I mean, this is quite the move here. So that's our structure in essence, kind of messy. And then we're doing this, so I'd like to see them go back up and then come down. Could also have done it this way. This is also a valid move like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same kind of thing. Looking for, so essentially a head and shoulders pattern here to come back down. So we have to be a little careful now because news is coming up, and I think it's going to be an important news. So at this point here, I've got a 1, 2, 3, and I would have expected another move to the upside, but we are not getting that. But that also happened down here, where we opened, and we get this is divergence with the S&P. So if I click over to the S&P, you'll see the S&P's got a line going the opposite way. So we had divergence here. So the S&P gave us a proper 1, 2, 3 at that point, and then the move up, back down 1, 2, 3 here, and then the move up. We would expect this move to the upside, but they're not giving us that. So they've dropped it down. So I'd be looking for a retrace on S&P and a drop like that. So they're pretty similar. And then we looked at Tesla. Tesla is also similar. And so Tesla opened up, went up, dropped. That's a sweep, move to the upside, retrace back into 50, 62%, move up over. I'm looking for Tesla to go up and take out this high, but the indices aren't doing that. So Tesla might have a struggle doing that as well. So you see how the indices have totally collapsed and have gone back into this 1, 2, 3 area, which we don't really want to see. Whereas Tesla is hanging in there. So Tesla's area, 1, 2, 3 area is right here. So we want to see, we don't really want to see price coming in here if we are expecting a move to the upside. So Tesla is hanging in there right now, but we shall see if they do push to the upside or not. And they might, because we're expecting the indices to push back to the upside. So at that moment in time when we get that push to the upside for the indices, Tesla could push back up and take out the high. So NASDAQ, we're looking for that move back to the upside. So that might be the push for Tesla to go back to the upside. It's going to be interesting here. Do I have any comments whatsoever? There's a gap here.
What's the news that's coming out? Do we know?
It's interest rate decision.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, they have Fed funds rate, and so that's the interest rate and economic projections, and then they have a statement, FOMC statement, and then at 2:30 they have a press conference. So should be an interesting one here today. Bitcoin has made quite a move to the upside overnight, just non-stop up, and away. So it's kind of in a holding state right now. So I think they're kind of waiting for the interest rate news as well. So it should be, again, an interesting.
Yeah, on the 4 hour, it looks like Bitcoin's just in a big fourth wave, and I would expect it to drop, but that's just.
And the same, yeah, my sentiments as well, that's probably the case. Yeah. So it did a similar move, and we looked at this yesterday. It did a similar move. So we've got the 1, 2, 3 here, this drop, and then they're doing the A, B, C, D, E dance. And so I would expect us to come down as well. That would be my take on it. So I think you're correct that we're in a fourth wave and looking for them to come down. So there's a big gap right here on the 4 hour that we've come into twice. So we can push through that once and then boom. So I'm looking for that move back down. So we'll see if that plays out. Now current 4 hour candle is turning red. We opened, we went up a little bit. We can't take out the previous day's high, or 4 hour high, sorry. And now we're starting to turn to the downside. So we could see a big collapse here for sure. So can we catch a rebound on the NAS? Back to the upside here.
I have a question. What time was that news supposed to come out?
At the top of the hour.
So 11 o'clock our time?
2 o'clock Eastern. Okay, so we had the last 1, 2, 3 was here. We've dropped down to this level. Bounced. So I'm expecting to take the low. We sweep this low and then get us a 1, 2, 3 to go back up. Let's see if we get that. Let's see how S&P is done here. S&P is the same. They haven't broken the lowest yet, so there's no divergence at this point. And see if Tesla has, Tesla has done a 1, 2, 3 already. So Tesla is setting up. So there, we had a 1, 2, 3 here. We dropped, came back up. So you would expect another leg down. We have equal lows here too. So we could expect another drop here before we get a 1, 2, 3 to go back up. So will they do that? Will they sweep that low? Yesterday we were talking about Teslas. Today I had to take my car in to get fixed, and I had to rent a car, and they came and picked me up and took me back to the rental place, and I get a Tesla. So quite interesting. I've never driven an electric car before, so it's my first time driving one. Quite nice vehicles.
Where are you going to plug it in, Lennox?
I don't really have to plug it in. I have 400K. It's 100% charge right now, so I got 400K. I don't think I'll be doing 400K in the next few days here. There's only one charging station no, 2 charging stations in Victoria. One's at Uptown. So you have to know where your charging station is for your Tesla. Otherwise you could be in trouble. That thing is so fast. Wow. And I think it does 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds or something. I had to test it out there on Cook Street. It's quite fast.
They're made to go fast so they can get away from all the people that are trying to
kill it. People need to relax.
I guess you saw on the news the charging stations in Nanaimo got torched, right? They're all arson.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my word. That's so insane.
The Vancouver Auto Show, they asked Tesla not to come this year.
Yeah.
They canceled them.
That's
just ridiculous stuff.
What was that, Stacy?
Yeah. Yeah, people are pretty angry.
I don't understand it. All right, so there on the NASDAQ, we've broken that low. So it's expecting the breach of the low. All right, so now I would be looking to jump into this buy with a half an hour before the news here. So I could take a buy. If I get a fractal, I could jump into a buy at this point. So let's just to see if I can get one. So what I do is I'm looking at a 10-second chart. So on a 10-second chart, right in this area here, I'm looking for the same setup. I'm looking for a 1, 2, 3 to get me out. And so it's like cheating by going down to the seconds chart, but you can actually see the setup. So let me just show what I'm seeing. So on a 10-second chart, and bring that over, I can see the setup. So I'm looking now on the 10-second chart for a breach of that low. Just the same thing as I was looking for the breach of the low over here. Let me just move this over a little bit. You'll see. So it's the same thing that we had here, this breach. I'm looking for that on the 10-second chart, a breach of that low. And then looking for a 1, 2, 3 here to come back up. So of course now my 10-second chart's not doing anything. That's super annoying. Let's see if we can. I'm not getting the candle movement here. So let me see if I can refresh that. Okay, so see they breached that low. So I'm on the 15-second chart now. So the low. Let me try the 10-second again. So there we go. We've breached the low right there. So this is essentially looking at this low here, and we've gone up. We've made a little 1, 2, 3. So I can enter that trade at this moment in time and do a buy on the NAS. So looking for price to come back up. So I don't have to wait on the 1-minute time frame for a breach of the high, the move up, retrace, and the entry at this point. I don't have to wait all that time because it's already done it right here on the seconds chart. So I can get in. So my risk becomes very, very tiny. My stop loss will be at the low. And just put it 1 tick below the low because that's all you need is 1 tick, or the spread. You can use the spread. But that's sufficient to warrant the stop because if they're going to take you out, they're going to take out that low. So if I can get price to come back and take out this high, I'll just mark it with a proper line here. This would be the break of structure or change of character. But there's there's an earlier one right here. That's a fractal right there. So if I can get a breach of that high and a closure above it, especially that one, that's really, really good. And I can get a retrace back in and go. So if I can get up here, I can take a partial, or if I get here, I can take a partial, which, I can take a quick partial or wait for the breach of this high for a partial. So it all depends on, I like to get about over $1,000 there, and then I take a partial. So it's coming there pretty quick. pretty good. Take a partial there. And then we'll let the rest go. So now I could even move my stop up. Don't really want to move my stop up too much because they can easily take you out with a wick tail. So let's say I move my stop to that level, about halfway down the tail, something like that. Reasonable, not too tight. So now we've got a breach of the first. So this is the structure I'm looking for, the sweep of the lows. So we've got that. That's one tick. Now we need a breach of the high right there, previous high. That's another tick. And so if we get a breach of that high, you could add another tick. And we'd like to see a closure above the high. So a closure would give me another tick, and then a retrace back into a gap. So there are gaps. There's a gap right here. There's also an inverted gap on that side. And we want the gap to be, if I have a move like this and we have a retrace and there's a gap, I want the gap to be below 50%, below the 50% mark of the entire move. So, I want it to be below the 50% mark. So I say that's 50%. I'd rather get my entry below 50%.
You see a 1, 2, 3 bottom on the 1 minute Tesla, Lennox?
So let's look at Tesla. It should be doing a similar thing here right now, right? Wow, it's really doing it. Okay, so this on Tesla, we've got the big sweep there. Push back up. So there's a sweep of that high, but we didn't get a closure. Retrace back into the gap. Perfect. So yeah, this would have been buy here. 1, 2, 3 bottom again. Buy, and catch the move. Certainly. And we're getting a breach of that high. So yeah. That's what we were expecting on Tesla. We wanted to see a move back to the upside to take out these highs. So yeah, this is a great opportunity. Great opportunities there to get into that move right there. So now we've breached both previous highs and we've got a closure above. So I've got how many check marks do I have so far? I've got the sweep, 1, the sweep, 2, another sweep, 3. I've got a closure above here, so I'll check that. That's 4. So I just need 3 check marks and I'm good. But I'd like to see a retrace back into a gap. So I've got inverted gaps. And so again, I'd like to see about 50% retrace of this move. So where's 50% of the move? Would be right there. So I've got an inverted gap. I'm going to make this a little bigger so everybody can see. So I've got an inverted gap right there. So if I mark that inverted gap, 50% is right at the top quarter. So I'd like to see them retrace back into that and go. Don't know if they will or not, but that's what I would expect. Sometimes they don't, they just go, but you would expect a retrace. And they don't have to retrace 50 to 62%. They can retrace 23%, 34%, 38%, 50%. They can retrace 100%. So you just don't know how much they're going to retrace. So if I get a retrace, I can add to my position, add some more to go. So we have a number of gaps that were painted for me by an indicator that I'm using. It's called the what is it called? A break of structure. change of character by nephew Sam. And what it's doing is it's painting only the fair value gaps after a break of structure or a change of character. So there's a change of character because we broke above the previous high. So once we get a change of character, any fair value gaps that are between the change of character and the low, it paints. So I've got 3 fair value gaps painted, 1, 2, and 3. So if I were to get a retrace, I'd want to see price come back into the one that's below the 50% level of the range. So in this case, it looks like it would be this one because we've gone up higher now, right? So my 50% range now is different than, so I had it on this candle. So this is the high now. So there's 50% right in the middle of that gap right there. So you see, they're not coming back at all so far. But you still want to see a retrace back down into this gap because it's right around the 50% level.
So Lennox, what was the name of that author again? Break of structure, change of character.
Yeah, nephew Sam.
Nephew
Sam. Yeah. They make a lot of indicators on here.
Mm-hmm.
Nephew_Sam. So these guys don't look like they want to turn back at all. Get a new high again. I can also use the previous range. So this range here, I can also use that range as a gauge of where price could come back to. And again, I would want to see price coming back into around the 50% level of this range. But we've moved up so high, the likelihood of price coming all the way back down to 50% of this range seems a bit remote at this point, but it could still do it, of course. But so I'm looking at this gap here as the ultimate area to come back in. I'm going to mark that one, this gap here. See if we can come back to that gap. So I've got an inverted gap, but that's a little lower. Where's my window? It is back. So Bitcoin is coming down quite a bit. So there's the retrace I'm looking for. So the question now is this really the bottom? And we're going to go back to the upside, or are they just faking us out and we could drop right through one more time? So this is a risk you take by jumping into a 1, 2, 3 at this point. So that's so we can look at the entire, let me go up to the 5-minute here and look at the entire structure, because I'm coming right into that sweet spot area where I want to jump in now. So this is very important for an entry. So it looks pretty good here on the 5-minute that would be the low. So I'm going to take an entry and add to my position. And I'm right at the spot that I would consider the entry, just below 50%. They can come a little lower, of course, maybe into this They've touched the inverted gap as well. I can bring my stop up a little bit so it's not too dramatic if I do get taken out. Yeah, so they come right into the midpoint of the inverted gap. So hopefully that's as far as they go, and we'll turn back to the upside now.
Looks like that wasn't a 150 bottom on Tesla.
No, wow. So they're going for that low. So is that what they might do on the S&P and the NAS? Maybe. So I'm saying this might not be the low. Looks pretty good though. Looks pretty good on NAS. I do have one more line of defense right there, another gap right there. So, and it looks like I could get taken out here maybe, and I am. So maybe it's not. I might have moved my stop up a bit too tight. So I've got two things: stop too tight, or they're going to go for take out this low. So that, a lot of times that's what it is, that we're not quite done, and they go back one more time, take out the low, or in this case, maybe I just moved my stop up a bit too tight. So we'll see. We can make that back. See what S&P is doing. S&P is doing the same thing. So I'd like it for a buy still. They just came down quite a bit lower than I was expecting them to come. There's my buy opportunity again. Put my stop loss back down here. I'm giving it just a little bit of room just in case they take the low one more time, but I wouldn't expect them to take that low again, but they might. And use the tail of this candle as my stop. About halfway down. So let's see if we push back to the upside here. We're coming close to the 2 o'clock time, so oh, that didn't work either. Wow. So should I put my stop below the low? We'll find out. If they take the low, then it doesn't matter. Looks like they might want to take that low. So Tesla might have been giving us a signal beforehand that we're not done going down. So Tesla is doing 1, 2. They've come back into that area. So I don't like that they did that. They come back to the order block. There's a gap there as well. So we could come down a little further. So we could see price popping up or tanking here, one or the other, right? When the news comes out.
I can make a comment.
Please.
In pre-market trading, the low was 228 and change, 228.40. So I'm thinking it might need to cover that gap before it goes back up again.
That's on Tesla you're talking about.
Right, yeah. Tesla at 4 o'clock this morning was basically gap down to, yeah.
There's a big gap down here you're talking about.
Right, between yesterday's close and the open today.
Well, that could be new. That could be a news catalyst move then. Okay, so you see what they did here. So I wouldn't have been safe below the low in either case here. They would have got me anyways. So you see what they did? They just swept that low by a tick. And then, so if I had my stop here, I'd have to give it a little bit of room just so that it wouldn't have gotten taken out. So it was a choice I made to go with the halfway down the candle wick, candle's tail. So because of that, I didn't get in. All right, so I'm looking again. Now we only have 9 minutes to go here, so it's a testy time now to make a decision to jump into this now. Could be hazardous to the health. Have to think about that. So that's again the sweep, the move up, breach of the previous high, just the first one, retrace back in here, would present a buy opportunity. Or the same, I could do this the same like that, up, retrace back in. But you can see they were very sneaky. They wanted to take the low one more time. So it would look pretty good, but not to be. Looking for a drop into this gap. They just touched it. That might be enough. I'd like to see them come down a little further, but sometimes you nickel and dime yourself at this point. So there we go. Got a little move into it. So I'll try it again. I'll put my stop again at the low, near the bottom of that wick candle. George, it's hard to say tail. Is George with us? Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm so used to saying wick. It's hard to say tail. So we consider the wick is the top of the candle and the tail is the bottom of the candle. The wick and tail. But it's, I'm so used to saying wick, I call them both wicks. All right, so looking for a push out. I'm taking a risk here, of course, at news time coming up. So we could, like I say, we could see a big pop to the upside. But they might drop it down first, take everybody out who put stops down here, like me, and then go up, or they could pop it up first and then drop it back down real quick. So don't want to be in here really at 2 o'clock. Let's see if we can make it back up to this high here. Would be a nice little profit to that level. We got 5 minutes to go. Looks like they're coming into that Tesla gap here.
They might want to push Tesla down to take out that gap there, the big gap at the bottom left of your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Because they took out the gap. They drove price up to take out the other gap at the top. Now it looks like they want to go down and take out the gap at the bottom. You scrunch up your screen, you can see that.
Yeah, that's what Armin was referring to earlier.
Oh, okay.
You see it better on the 5 minute there. The big gap here down here you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, there's a gap here. So this gap would more than likely hold price if we're going to get that push back to the upside. If we don't get that push back to the upside to take out these highs, we could see a collapse. Certainly.
Why would they push up price again? Because they've already pushed it up to take out the other gap at the top. I'm not sure why they would do that.
The only reason I'm saying that is because we have a 1-2 here, so I'm expecting that move.
Oh, okay.
That would give us our structure. That's what we would expect at this point.
Unless they don't give us a wave 5.
That's right. So we've got 3 minutes to go here. Two minutes to go. It's not going up in a hurry here. I'm going to leave my trade on. I just want to see what happens here at the news. My expectation is that we get a pop first. I could put a TP up there. Just to see if they do strike that high. We've got about 30 seconds left. I'm going to go for 5,000. There. So that's if they don't drop it down and take me out first, which is possible still. Okay, they drop it down first, take me out. So there we go. So that didn't work. Now they're probably gonna take off now, back up. Yeah.
What a jump!
That's unfortunate. That's super. Yeah, it was tempting not to put the stop on, but you can't really take that risk.
What are they doing now?
Look at that.
Tesla just popped.
That would have been a nice play. Unfortunately, there I was not able to stay in.
That was some swing. Oh, and
Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, I figured they might do that, take you out first and then go up. So Tesla has done what we were expecting it there to do on the 5 minute to go. Well, they haven't done much of it, but expecting it to go up to take out these highs, but it's not moving up very much. So that's super unfortunate that they tailed it down there to take everybody out first and then go up, because otherwise that would have been a nice profit. But that's the risk you take on a news event, because again, if I don't put a stop in, and I say, okay, I'm not going to put a stop in, you take the risk that they could drop it way down and you'd be in deep troubles. But this was the expected move to the upside. Based on our structure. And that's the only thing I had to go with, was structure. But the NAS, they really messed up the structure, and the S&P, they really messed the structure up. So it's a bit wonky structure. Whereas a Tesla is a better looking structure. We still have essentially a 1, 2, 3 here. We did come into the area, but not dramatically, and you would expect that move back up to take out the highs. But they're not really pushing up very much. So they did take out that high. Yeah, it's not as strong a move as we saw on the indices. How did the US dollar react to this news here? Let's take a look at that. So quite the drop on the US dollar. Very interesting. So all these Aussie US dollar and all that took big moves to the upside. Bitcoin also pushed up quite a bit. Let's come right back down, because we're expecting Bitcoin to fall. So this is right in line with what we're expecting. Sweep and then another drop down. GBP, Euro USD would be a big move up. So there it is. And GBP USD would be a big move up. Huge move up on GBP USD. Wow. And New Zealand US dollar would be a big move up. USD CAD would be a big move down. And USD Swiss would be a big move down. And USD JPY would be a big move down. So lots of opportunities there to trade at the news, but you have to be so careful about that. Let's see if it had any effect on gold. Yeah, big move up on gold. Wow. And silver. Oil. Move down, not dramatic, but yeah, gold's quite the move. Wow. So very interesting. So on gold, that was a much more easier play, because they didn't come down and take out the low. They already swept that low, and they sweep here, they go up, they drop back in. So that's a beautiful play on gold to the upside. That's the beautiful setup there for gold. So unfortunately, like I say, on the NAS, they took me out at the low, sweeping that low one more time. So very interesting that they did that a second time, because they're already done it here once. So you think that would be enough, and then we get this 1, 2 and just go. But not to be. So that would have been a nice trade. All right, so it looks like it's settled down already. Or not. Still a little bit boisterous there. So Tesla, what's Tesla doing now? They're coming back down. So they're not going up any further than that much. Well, that's interesting. So will this gap hold Tesla up? Continue up, or will they just bring it down to fill this gap back up? Bitcoin's just taking a big drop. So all they did here in Bitcoin, they opened and just sweep everybody out who were selling. And take anybody out who's buying. Now they're dropping it down. Ruthless stuff.
What are they trying to do now?
Oh, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would expect them to come back down one more time here.
Yeah.
But not much play right now.
Wonder what the report said.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to come down again. What was their decision? The news here. So their forecast was for 4.5 and they stayed at 4.5. So no change. So interesting. Why would they even move the markets at all if there's no change?
That's because they probably are remaining very bullish for the future to lower rates.
So not very good for the US dollar. Interesting. Well, they're not coming down as I'm expecting here. They're going up a little higher first.
Looks like they're wanting to remain positive.
Oh, interesting. So another way of looking at this is that we sweep here, sweep here, sweep here. This becomes a 1, 2, and now we're looking to take out this high again. Then. So it was looking like we were just going to do this and then drop one more time, take out this low, but so it's the opposite of what I'm expecting. So we're getting 1, 2, and now we're pushing back to the upside. So they're gunning for those highs. So Tesla should then be making that move back to take out the highs up here, like the S&P is, or the NAS is. So these highs are in jeopardy now. But they really messed up the structure here. It's a little bit on the messy side.
The structure does look pretty sad, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was not too bad, but now they've kind of messed it up a bit. Yeah. So this would be like that, and then this, and then one more push to take out the highs. Looks like that's what they're doing. So Tesla.
Oh, they'd have to go up about 50 handles to do that, which is possible, of course.
So see how Tesla touched into the gap, now is pushing back. So target would be the high. It's 3 points.
Lennox, take a look at the 15-minute NAS. And if you take the, well, it depends upon which you take for the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 5 could be a new high there.
Well, overall, if I go to the 30, you'll see, as Stacy pointed out this morning when we first started, I've got a 1, 2 here. So this is what has been controlling this move.
Yeah.
Then we get this drop. So it tells us right away where we are.
So that's all of a 4 then.
We're in a fourth wave. So
which is where I was this morning too, but
yeah, we're expecting a drop.
To rethink the thing now.
We're expecting a drop here. So they've done an A and a B and a C and a D, and then this is the E leg. Yeah. So they might come and take this high one more time, just here. But then after that, we should be coming straight down. So I'm liking this for a drop. But the structure wasn't complete in here at the news, so that's why I was expecting a move to the upside on the news, because they hadn't finished the structure yet. So, but overall, it does look like we're in a fourth wave, and we should be coming back down. So right now,
long, exaggerated fourth wave type structure.
Yes, big, exact. Because remember yesterday, I was expecting them to come down right away and take out the lows.
Yeah, exactly.
And they did not. And so I said, well, maybe overnight they'll come down and take out the lows. So overnight, last night, they came down, but they only took out one low, and then they turned it back to the upside. So then I realized, oh, I see what they're doing. They're doing the A, the B, the C, the D, and then we're going to have an E leg taking us back up into this area here of the order block and so forth. So they did that, come back up into that area. So now you can see what we have. We have a 1, 2, 3 right here. If they take the high, then we'll get a new 1, 2, 3, of course. But right now it's looking, that could become a head and shoulders if they take this high. If they don't take the high, then we have a legitimate 1, 2, 3 that should take us back down. But I'm expecting them to take this high. So let's see if they do take the high or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to put a trade on now until I
we have to wait.
Figured out what the heck they want to do.
Yeah, so I can see the structure quite nicely here coming down. They did it, and this was messy here. That was a nasty move that they did here with that.
That's funny.
Tail, and then now they're going back up. So they look like they want to take that high out, which is fine. They can take that out, and then we would get a 1, 2, 3 coming back down. So that would work. And that would be almost identical to what Bitcoin's doing, because Bitcoin, we had the big drop on Bitcoin, and now they're pushing back up to possibly take out that high. If not, then this becomes a 1-2, and we come back down. So this is a sweep.
The thing is, on the NAS, there's a lot of volume right around these last few levels. They keep adding to it. Huh?
Okay, so it looks like they're going to take that high.
It looks like they want to go for that immediate high there you're looking at. It looks like that's going to be gone soon.
How's Tesla? Tesla's still not pushing as strongly as I thought they would. Interesting. So they didn't take the high. Very close. So another shot at it here.
Well, that's not the NAS.
This is the NAS.
That's the NAS?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You see how S&P's taking the high. S&P is very far away from the high.
Yeah.
We're getting a bit of divergence here. So they came down and really took out these lows over here. Swept once, swept twice, now gone back up. So it doesn't look like they have enough strength to take out the high here for S&P compared to the NAS, which has more strength at that point. So so we could get some divergence here. And you see they only took out the low once here, where the S&P took it out 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times they took out the lows. And NASDAQ couldn't do that. NASDAQ was much stronger here. All right, so let's see if they make another attempt at the highs. Looks like they're going to. But no setup right now, that's for sure. So one more push to take out both highs. So perhaps at the meeting at 2:30, they might say something rather negative, and we could see a big drop take place here. That's a possibility.
Yeah, that's true.
You see back-to-back 1, 2, 3s on the bottoms on Tesla, 1 minute.
Yes. So again, we have this sweep and then this big move up. So here's our first 1, 2, and then we get another one here. And there is a gap there. So we came back into the gap. So unless they want to take this low again, I mean, they could take this low again. Okay, so we have to be careful. There's a gap here as well. So they could take that low and come down into the gap here. They're sneaky that way. They'll have lots of people putting their stops here. And they'll come down and take you out. There's also an inverted gap there. So it's possible for them to come down into this inverted gap. So that means they could take this low right here. So you always have to be careful with the second 1, 2. You get 1, 2, you get another 1, 2. They can take that middle one before they go. It's a very good ploy that they utilize. And it looks like they're going to do that because I can see from here, I've got a 1, 2, right? So when you have a 1, 2 at the top, That's going to take us down. So let me mark, I'm going to mark off this gap here. So that's a possible stopping point for them. And there's also a inverted gap here. I'll mark those two. And
again, what's an inverted gap?
it's just the opposite side. So there's a gap coming down on this side right there.
Yeah.
So it becomes inverted because we've gone back above it. So it can act as support on the way back up. So this gap here, which is inverted, it was a gap going down. And now when we've gone back and past it and come back to it, it acts as a support. Okay, I just got to knock at my door. So let me just answer my door here. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
I sent a package.
Peter, did you do any trading this morning?
No, I was a little bit gun shy.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I didn't like price action at all because we had a gap up, which we had a 1, 2, 3 bottom last night and a gap up, which is wave 3, and I figured we were going into wave 4, so I was not going to fool around with it. I don't have any luck with wave 4.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They're tough as nails.
I'd rather stick needles in my eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. All right, so that my neighbor says, "Oh, is that your Tesla parked beside my truck?" He's all worried that they're going to come and smash up his truck now. All right, so you see what they did? They did indeed take that low, just by a tick, and they touch right into that inverted gap. And now they're moving off. So that's what they like to do. They fool everybody by making this move, and it looks like they're going to go. So people jump in and put their stops here, and then they come down and take them out. And it doesn't even mean that they're done yet. They could still come back one more time because we've got a 1-2 here. So we could still drop one more time and come down into even this gap and then bounce. That's possible as well. So how's NAS doing? Have we reached the top yet? Not yet. Still, they're trying. So still trying to get up there. I'm expecting them to go through. So you see how sneaky that is, Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very cutthroat stuff, but that's the reality of it, right? So because I have a 1, 2, 3 right there, I'm expecting another drop to take out this low. So anyone who thinks that, oh, I got this big, huge blue candle and I can jump in and put my stop here, they get taken out too. So you have to be really, really vigilant at your entry area.
I'd hate to play chess with these guys.
This is chess. You're playing it all the time. You've been doing quite well. So here they come. They're coming to take out that low.
So now we have a 1, 2, 3 top on the 1 minute chart.
We do. We have a small 1, 2, 3 right there.
And then a big one.
And then this is a third wave move, fourth, and then down into 5. So I'm expecting them to take that low. And that could put us into this gap here. And that would present a nice entry to go back up. So that's what they've done. They've come right into that gap. There's another gap below as well. So, you know, they could come even lower if they want to, but I can see from here 1, 2, 3, 4 that we should be done now, and you could buy Tesla safely now. Well, I wouldn't say safely, but I would. You could. So let me do a buy on Tesla, 500 shares. Yeah, wait for the next candle. Could have bought it down here when it was low, but it was a bit slow there. So that, let's see what the next candle does. Coming back down a little bit. Okay, I'll just buy it there. So looking for them to come back up to the top for target right here.
Doesn't seem to quite know what it wants to do.
Stop loss right here, not too far away. I'm taking a $300 risk to make possible $1,700.
Are you looking for it to go up or down?
Up.
Oh, that's on Tesla.
Mm-hmm. They're still not able to get up there on the NAS or S&P. We've got a couple more minutes before the 11:30 news.
Okay, I just got out of my trade. Let me see what I did.
What are they saying here?
I just got up to 228 handles.
George, you're just whipping things. Oh, they come back a little bit here, so they're making a nice 1, 2, 3 at this point now. Make a 1, 2, 3. We don't want to see them going through this low again. So that needs to hold, and then it can continue pushing up here. Otherwise, I'm in trouble.
I was going down.
So you're just catching this quick little move here.
Yeah, I just caught a quick, it was 39 handles.
Very good. Well, that's on the NAS.
That's on the NAS, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a very quick little move there, George. That's not, wow. So I'm still expecting the NAS to go up and take out the highs.
Well, it could be doing that right now.
So we got 1, 2 here, and then we're chopping in here and looking for them to go one more time.
But that's why I didn't try to stretch it, because
No, you don't want to be stretching that one because it's a fourth wave, right? So
yeah, right.
So there we're getting that move to the upside. So let's see if they can take out the highs. That should give a boost to Tesla.
Well, we've hit news time, so
Mm-hmm.
oh, if he said anything,
No reaction yet.
pardon?
No reaction yet.
Yeah, true.
They say he's remaining squarely focused on achieving.
Extremely close to the high, recent high.
And we're getting the nice move on Tesla now.
High. There you got your break of the high now. Better medium.
1, 2, 3 bottom on the 5-minute Tesla.
It's a very big 1, 2, 3 bottom there. Nice on the 5-minute. So that should easily take us up to the target.
What's the target?
The high here. 237.11. So 1, 2. So we could even go higher than that for the target because let's see what else. Yeah, there's highs over here. But I don't, you don't have to push it. That's pretty good profit. And we could go to the highs over here as well. Just take the low hanging fruit.
So Powell's comments have just started to be released.
They seem positive.
He believes the economy is strong. Inflation remains somewhat elevated so far. And I'm sure there'll be a whole bunch of stuff coming out for the next couple of minutes here.
Okay, Powell has said that inflation remains somewhat elevated. Economy is strong.
Okay, NAS is taking out the high. NAS is really taking out the high.
Technical decision to slow pace of decline in the balance sheet. So those are the 3 statements that he makes. So I don't know what the heck it'll end up doing for the price of eggs. It looks like we're coming down now.
So that's a nice move to the upside.
Yeah.
Took out the highs now. So now we have our sweep. Okay, so I would think that would be it now, and that's our high, and we shouldn't go any higher, and we come back down, take out these lows. So we'll be looking for a 1, 2, 3 here to come back down. That's kind of what I'm seeing based on that 30-minute analysis that we did earlier. So on the 30-minute, it looks like this. So we've got, again, 1, 2, 3, over to 4. I'm looking for this move down. So what's the catalyst to bring us down? It's either something he's going to say now or something, I don't know, is there news tomorrow that might be a possible catalyst?
Well, he's still talking.
Yeah, he's still chatting. Tomorrow there's lots of news as well. Wow. Anything on, lots of US dollar news too, USD news. But nothing red. Existing home sales is about the only thing tomorrow for the US dollar, for US unemployment claims as well. There's lots of news out tomorrow. What about Friday? Let's see Fridays. Nothing on Friday. So quite interesting.
What's going on?
With? Oh, we had a nice move there on Tesla. Gotta keep going here. So this is encouraging. People are buying Tesla.
A lot of people in the United States must be selling them inexpensively then.
I find the whole thing just childish.
That's for sure.
It's just
Well, they're
ridiculous.
billionaires. What do you expect?
No, I'm talking about the people who are out running around smashing up cars and all that kind of stuff. It's just foolishness.
After they bought them.
It's just insanity. I mean, what? How does that even make any sense? It's not hurting Musk.
No, no.
Anyways, politics, eh?
Yep.
Politics of dancing. Tesla, slow grind.
Push down now.
NASDAQ. So do we get a turnaround or not? Do they continue going? So let's see how this looks on the. I mean, the 4 hour. The 4 hour looks quite strong. We got very strong. We've broken the previous 4 hour high. The next stop would be, wow, way over here. So it is. I mean, they have room to push up further, but boy, I wouldn't be really expecting that anything's possible in this market.
Yeah.
Get rid of this guy.
So we're at the Q&A portion of the speech.
So he didn't really say anything that's moving the markets in any big way at this point. Yeah, it looks like this should be it. You come right back into this order block. That's all we have there on the 4 hour. The hourly. There is a inverted gap. Came back into that. So these inversion gaps are quite interesting. So there's one right there. It's just a tiny one that we came back into it and just now we're just wicking through it. So 30-minute, that's it right there. 15-minute, we're just coming back down into it now. So it's acting as resistance, that inverted gap. 5-minute time frame. So I'm looking for a turnaround. 1 minute time frame. We already have a 1, 2, 3. So I've got a 1, 2, 3 now. So if we call this the top, and we're breaking that, so I'll be looking for that move here for an entry right here. So essentially our setup is we have a sweep, come down, going back up, but we have a sweep here, down, come back up, drop. So is it worthwhile for a sell at this point? Maybe. Let's see if I can catch something. So all I have to go back to is an order block. They touched it already. So that might have been it. That might have been the touch I needed, and then they're going to go, or they go back up another time. But we really, to really make this legitimate, we have to break this low here. So this gap now becomes our low. This would be our change of character.
Oh, you're trying to break that low.
Yeah, that would be the first low that would, since the last move up. But if I can get a move back up here, which is happening, I could sell here. I'm taking a risk here, of course, because I'm calling this the top. It might not be the top yet, but I'm going to do a sell. Let's try it and see. You see how they're going up quite a bit into the order block.
Look how far they just went up.
Yeah, they came up quite a bit into the order block. So I'm going to put my stop just above here. Again, I'm going to use the wick as my stop. See if that holds. Look for a drop. How's Tesla doing? Am I still alive? Still struggling, eh? Not going up as quickly as I thought it might. So it's going to struggle if this starts to fall back. So they're very close to taking me out here. So it might be incorrect that this is the top. Yeah, it's not the top. So they've come to take me out. It's a tough one here because it could be the top and it could not be the top. So it's kind of an iffy one. It came back, so we could go one more time there to take that high. Let's see what S&P is doing at the same point.
So it's a question if it's going to take out this high.
Yeah, it looks like they want to take it out one more time.
Looks like they want to take it out right now.
Yeah, one more time, eh? So we're not doing so good today here. So he says that uncertainty around policy changes and their effects on economic outlook is high. That doesn't sound good.
Okay, it looks like they're going to take that there. They just took the high.
Okay, so that was the risk I took there by putting a stop there because it could have gone one more time. So I really shouldn't have taken that trade, but I just thought I'd give it a shot. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're going a little higher, so my Tesla should be pushing up now. So it's a bit tough because I'm saying Tesla is going up, and yet I'm trying to sell NAS. So that doesn't make sense. I shouldn't be selling NAS if I think Tesla is going up because they kind of go in tandem. So NAS isn't finished going up yet. So until Tesla makes it to this high here, I shouldn't be really looking.
This is the high, though. It looks like I'm showing divergence with my CCI. If this is the high.
No, I'll move my stop.
Another high, but it still hasn't changed CCI.
So looking good on Tesla here to make it to target. Perhaps. I have to say perhaps because I'm still looking for NAS to turn around. S&P's broken the high as well. The 4-hour candle is very strong. We've taken out the previous 4-hour candle's high. Looks very good. It looks very strong here for a fourth wave type of effect. They're going quite a ways up. So it's trying to make a liar out of me here because it looked like we were good, but now we've come back into this area quite a bit and have gone over it. So unless we get a wick here, you know, a candle like this, where we close back inside.
If this continues down now, my divergence is still holding. Maybe I should put on another trade.
I need just a wick here. I need one of those pin bars here to give us the go ahead that yes, we're going to fall, because otherwise we could just continue pushing up, and that means that they're not giving us a fifth wave at all, and we just get this really becomes a 1-2-3 bottom, and we're heading straight up. But if this turns into a wick in here, then we could see a fall. So it's very interesting here right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to hold on to what I have.
Mark this high here. We've gone above that high. Gone above this high. Two highs. So will I get a wick here?
It's really struggling trying to reverse and go down.
Tesla should be moving with a little bit more vigor to the upside here, but it's not really. It's just a bit.
Yeah, well, it's trying to go up again right now.
I want 236.
Yeah, I'm looking for 237.11.
I'll be happy with 236.
It's very slow. And we're coming into the last hour pretty quick here. We're coming into we're in macro time almost.
Yeah. I might trade to finish before that stuff comes in. Getting a lot of consolidation now. It doesn't know what the heck it wants to do. New high or go down or stay the same.
Yeah, this is slow motion right now.
Yeah, it is.
This would move to here.
Okay, we're trying to pull it low now. I guess I have a quarter of a check mark at this point.
Yeah, Tesla is really struggling to get above. We got double 1, 2, 3 now, and the triple one making its way. We've got 1, 2, 1, 2, another 1, 2. Maybe they'll come and take this again. They might do that and then continue.
Boy, this is a struggle. Somebody needs to give it a good push.
I mean, a no-lose situation in Tesla, so worst case scenario. But I'd like to see them continue pushing up here. It's, yeah, NAS looks like it still has another leg to go up. S&P as well.
Can't decide yet what it wants to do, go up or down.
Let's take a look at gold here. So gold made quite the big, huge move, took out the highs. Yeah, that was a. We looked at gold at the news, and it had such a nice setup. That was the setup there on gold. That's the structure that we're always looking for. That sweep, the 1, 2, back into it. And then they had a gap there as well. Interesting. But they went below the gap and they came into the order block instead. And that's made for a nice entry. So we had a check, closure above is a check, retrace back in, check.
Okay, there's a new high.
Gap, check. That's a buy. Big buy right there on gold. Beautiful setup. Let's see if silver was similar. Silver was different. Huh. So they messed people up in silver. The difference is quite pronounced. There's divergence there. So that would have messed people up. Getting a move now in Tesla? Yes, finally. Okay, here we go. So you got your 236 there, Peter?
Yeah, just about to get out.
Yeah, it's still, yeah, this is a nice push here. And yeah, NASDAQ's made that final push.
Okay, I'm out.
There you go.
236.09.
I'm looking for 237.11. Should make that.
I left some for you.
Got nice profits right now, so I could move my stop up to protect some more of that gain. Got a big gap there, so I should be okay here for about $600, just in case they do pull back for whatever reason. So NAS made quite the push here, so I've got to see where they're pointing to go. So they've come back into, wow, I'm very surprised at this move.
They just made it up to that.
They've come back to the number 2 point of our 1, 2, 3 here. So we don't want to see them close above that if we're going to get a fall back to down. So this is quite the push to the upside. So they're really enticing the longs here. So a lot of longs. So we know where all the liquidity is sitting now.
Good afternoon, Lennox and everyone else.
Good afternoon, Omar. Still morning for me.
They're running out of
Yes, sir.
ammo up there, though.
We should be.
On the tail end of the profile.
Should be getting tired up here now. So we've come all the way back. So my structure again, I have to repeat this again, but I'm still looking at this as my structure, and now they've gone up way up high. So it's not an impulse structure. It's a kind of like a diagonal type affair, or you could call it a flat. But they've come way back inside of my number 2 area, which is not. That means we don't have an impulse. We should have turned down at this point here to have an impulse.
Yeah.
We did not. So
How does the S&P look at that point?
let's see what the S&P looks like. Whoa. So the S&P says, forget that. I'm just heading north, period. So
Yeah.
interesting. So it's what they're saying then is that they're not coming back to give us a fifth wave. And we're turning the market around and going up without you. So you can sit here and wait looking for fifth wave to come back down, but it's not happening. The S&P is telling us that story right there, right?
Yeah, it's very pronounced there.
Yeah. So sometimes, you're sitting there waiting for this. So Ellioticians, of course, would be, okay, I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move, A, B, C. That works. But because I have a 1, 2 here, I'm looking for another drop, right?
But
so, and I have a 1, 2 here as well, A, B, C, but I'm still looking for another drop here. So this is what we would expect. And they don't give it to us. So
from a higher time frame though, is it, well, would you like, let me say the 4 hour
hourly,
if it would suggest that you were in a fourth wave and it was a retracement to, and then they continue up?
Well, on the 1 hour here, yeah, the S&P is saying, no fifth wave happening here, because even up to this point here, we could have expected a fifth wave, but now they've gone into this area, so it's nullified our fifth wave.
Heck of a big move, isn't it?
So we'd have expected a drop here. If we could get a wick only and get a pin bar, we could still expect that. It's still possible for us to drop, but right now it's not looking so great anymore. So that's on the S&P. Let's go back to the NAS. The NAS is a little less stronger, not as strong,
doing
but
the same thing.
Yeah, so I would still be possible to expect a pin bar here to drop us back down. That's still a possibility, but it's very strong. It's tough. So my Tesla has gone right through, taking it. So you see, Peter, it did make it to that 137 or 237 target.
Yeah,
so
I left that
hung in
on
there for that,
I
but
left
that's
that
okay. You made profits, so you're good. So there's another high over here as well, and that's another possible target that they'd be going for next, and we could reach that easily because I actually could have used that as my target and just moved my stop up, as we're going up. But we do have a 1, 2, 3, so I would expect that we would make that target as well, right?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So I could have just kept moving my stop up and protect. But at this point here, because we've come to this high, we could certainly pull back, and so you can always jump back in if that's the case too. Right? So very, very nice move. It took a little bit of time to get out of there, but it just was worth the wait to hang in there for that move.
Could you look at Euro USD?
Euro USD. So the US dollar did a tanking here, right? So US dollar dropped considerably. So that means Euro USD would be pushing up considerably. And that's what it is. So I'm on the hourly looking at it. So we had on the hourly, we had 5 waves down. And then we have this, so we have this sweep here. So there's our sweep moving back up. We would need to break that high and get something like that to continue going, because we're in an otherwise upward mode, it looks like. Let me go higher on the 4 hours, see what we got. So on the 4 hour,
38.13.
I'll keep it small so you can see the entire move. Okay, so 4 hour, very strong move to the upside, and we're looking to push to take out these highs now. So I can see my 4 hour candle here. We took out the previous candle's low, so that's a sweep. Now, again, we're looking for a 1, 2, 3 to continue pushing up to the upside. So let me just connect again. Okay, so I'll drop to the hourly. So that's what I'm looking for here. 1, 2, 3 bottom here now to continue. Does that make sense?
Yes. Do you see them taking out, or would you say that you're in a fourth wave expecting to complete the fifth wave to take out those highs?
On which time frame? Are we looking at the 4 hour?
I was looking on the 30-minute.
30-minute time frame. So fourth wave from which direction? Sorry.
Oh, well, because your chart is, so I can't see the leg up. So.
Okay, so like this, you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you do a disservice doing this, but okay, so I'll put it back on the hourly because now on the hourly.
Yeah, the hourly is fine.
Yeah, it's better because you can see, yeah, when you make it too squinchy, I want to see what the candles are doing. So this makes more sense here. So I've got this pullback at this point down. Then I get a 1, 2, 3 here. So the key here is this 1, 2, 3. Right?
Yes, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. So always have the key is to always know what's the 1, 2, 3 that's controlling the move. So since there are no other 1, 2, 3s on the chart, except for up here, this is the one that's controlling the move because it made this big huge move to the upside here. So yes, this could be a fourth wave that we're in. Yes, right?
So
that what you're saying?
Yeah. So that move, that wick there. I was just before the news. I am looking at it as the move to complete the start of the move to complete the fifth wave, to take out the highs.
To go up and take out the highs.
Yes, right there.
Yes. Yes. So here, what they did here was they swept these guys out. So anyone who was, had their stops hiding in here got taken out by this move. These guys got taken out here as well. So now we're looking for them to take out this high. Draw that a little straighter, this high, and make a 1, 2, 3 here to continue the move to the upside. That's what I'd be looking for.
Yeah. So that's what I'm expecting as well.
Okay.
So
this is the key right here. This guy. So it looks like 1, 2, and then we get 3, 4, 5, and then we get A, B, and C down, and it consists of 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're looking for a 1, 2 here to continue up.
Yes, thanks.
Euro US dollar. So 15-minute. So you can wait for them to breach the high and then pull back in.
Oh, I was already in before the news.
Oh, that's all right then. Then you caught a nice move.
Yeah, what I want to do is I break even, so I caught it at the bottom there.
Very nice. I tried the same thing on the NAS, and they stopped me out with the wick here, the tail here.
Yeah, luckily
So
the Euro USD didn't wick down.
Yes, then that's a big difference, right? If you don't get that drop, the wick that takes you out, that's beautiful. So it's a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom, and then it just goes. So I was hoping that would happen on the NAS, but I also was realistic to realize that they could take me out first before they made the move. So, and they did, unfortunately. So
yeah,
and I think S&P did the same thing. Yes, they did the same thing on the S&P. Tesla, they did the same thing as well. They did the same thing, dropped into this gap, and then they gave us a nice 1, 2, 3, and then this nice move. So you can see, Peter, where we are heading right up to the next target high on Tesla because we have that 1, 2, 3 bottom. So that was the 1, 2, 3 bottom tells us that we can make it up right up to the top by putting. So to be really confident and sure about it, you can put on the fib expansion, and we look at the move and say, okay, Where's 1.618 going to take me? And look, it takes me up to 238. So that's pretty good. And then 200%, it takes me up to 239. So you could easily make it to 2.272 here. And that's where they're heading. Because that's the previous high over here. So that's a legitimate target. So there's our structure on Tesla. It's beautiful now. You can see it clearly. You can see the 1, 2, the 3, and then the 4th, and now we're going into the 5th. So that's just really, really nice. So when Armin was asking about the gap here, I wasn't thinking the gap would be in play because of the fact that we had a 1, 2 here and another 1, 2 here. So I'm looking at this, them not coming past this gap here, and using that as a support to take us back to the upside, take out these highs, and reach for these highs. That's totally reachable target. That would have been, so that was a little bit wimpy on my part to get out at 237 target, but that's okay. It's all good.
Well, you beat me.
So NAS and the S&P have made a liar out of me, and they've gone way above and beyond. So we're on our way to the upside. Bitcoin as well, also moving with lots of strength to the upside. So it's yeah, quite the move here.
Yeah, it's at the end of the volume profile chart right now. NAS is.
Look at that move, eh? Wow. All right. Give me another minute, gentlemen. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again. So whatever Mr. Powell has said, they like it.
They're liking it.
He says we do not need to be in a hurry to adjust policy stance. So that's good news, I think. Let's see where we are. Taking out that previous high. So much for our structure that we look pretty good there for a move back down. They've violated the structure completely. So what are we looking at now? Still, we're still really in a fourth wave.
Yeah.
You can see it on the 4 hour here that we're still in that fourth wave from the top here. So that's the top, right? So now we can kind of get our bearings. So this is the top. We had that move down, and this huge move all the way down puts us into a fourth wave still. So the trajectory is still to the downside, interestingly. Very interesting. So something is going to cause a collapse here. What it is, I don't know, but so we're still, this is not a 1, 2, 3 bottom that's going to take us up. We have 3 strong 4 hour candles, very nice, definitely. So the next candle we would expect another strong move, so we could push back up a little bit more, but it all depends on how this current 4 hour candle closes too. All right, so let's see on the daily how we look. So there we are on the daily. So we've come back into a daily, touch this daily gap way over here. So it's telling us a little story here. So this big, huge drop. And again, we were at a very choppy area. Big, huge drop. So are we done at this point, or do we come back through one more time to sweep these lows and then turn around and go back up? I think that's what's going to happen. Just like what we were seeing on Tesla on the 1 minute chart earlier, where they made a 1-2, they made another 1-2, and then they came and took out this middle guy. They came down and then they went up. It's similar here, the same kind of thing where they do. Let me put that back so you can see. They do this 1-2 kind of thing, and they can come back and take everybody out before they turn it around and go back up. So it looks like that's what they're setting up here. So like chess, we have to kind of think ahead and postulate, prognosticate what's possible at these points. What's the next possible move? That's of course, long term, but still.
Would you be expecting a 1, 2, 3 top on Tesla?
So let's see Tesla on the same level on the daily. So daily, on the Tesla, we've dropped quite a bit here. Let me see if I can get rid of this guy. Where is it? Can't get it. Here it is. That's not it, but okay. So 1, 2, 3 top. On what time frame are we referring to?
The 1 minute. The 1 minute.
Way back down there. Yeah, I need to go to the 5 because it's a bit too tight. Okay, so because we came out of here with a 1, 2, 3 bottom, double 1, 2, 3 bottom, and we moved, we know where we are now, right?
Wave 4.
Yes, so we still have more to go.
Okay.
Right? We would expect another move to the upside. Of course, we can come down first before we do that, but right? We don't know what they're going to do here. but we would expect another move to take out the highs. So that answers your question, I hope.
Yeah, just reinforcing my thought process.
Yeah, and that's it, because again, what's controlling the move is this guy. The first 1, 2, 3 is controlling the move. We get another 1, 2, 3, so that's really now controlling the move. We get another one, so triple 1, 2, 3 here. Or we can also call one ABC at this point, and then we get this big, huge move into the third. So now we would expect, some kind of stuff like this. They're going to fool around in here and mess everybody up. And there's a gap here, so we could come back down to that gap and then take off out of there one more time.
So we could theoretically get a 1, 2, 3 top.
Yeah, but we're in a fourth wave, so you don't really want to look at it that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
we come up there. Yes, we get a 1, 2, 3, but they can mess you up. So by you looking at that as 1, 2, 3, you think, oh, I could go down, but they might not do that. They might just go halfway. So you have to be really careful in the fourth wave.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Although it looks like it's a 1, 2, 3 top now.
Yeah, and that's where you get fooled. If you don't know the structure, a lot of people think, oh, this is a 1, 2, 3, so I'm going to jump in, and then they just take you out.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
Yeah. I mean, it happens even when you have got a legitimate 1, 2, 3. You get a legitimate 1, 2, 3, and you put your stop too tight or whatever, and they take you out, and then it takes off without you. So it happens. This is not a 100% guaranteed to win game, unfortunately. But definitely winnable. We can beat these guys. So there on the NAS, you get a 1, 2, 3, and it looks great. It looks like, oh yeah, this is beautiful, right? And I could get this move back down. That's totally possible. But I wouldn't play it because it's a fourth wave. I've got 1, 2, 3s here, and so I'm not going to play this to come back down at this point. And sometimes, you think, okay, I should have played it because it does come down, but it's better not to do that, because this was a better move here to come up. You get your profits off, you're good. You can go to the bank and let this play out and do whatever it wants to do in here.
Yeah, good analysis.
All right, so we got about a half an hour or so to go in the day. So I think something is going to bring the market back down. Now the question is going to be, what is that catalyst to bring it back down? So we're chopping up in a fourth wave now, and they're kind of making it this way. And then I would be looking for them to go back up again one more time to take out the highs. So I look for nearest gaps. So there's one here. So that's a reasonable gap area that they could stop at. They could even go lower too, right? So because I have a 1, 2, 3, they could come down into this next gap, certainly, right? So that's why I marked them off, because the possibility is that they can go down into them. There's another one here. So it's reasonable to think, okay, I got a 1, 2, 3 top, we could make it down to this gap. But there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. Because what happens in the fourth wave is not the same as what happens with your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure. We can get this move, looks like a 1, 2, 3, but it's really an AB. So an AB says that this leg has 5 waves in it, and then that's it, and then we could turn and go back up. Doesn't necessarily have to come stretch all the way down here. So look, they're turning it already, so that might be it, and then we go back up. But it doesn't mean that I want to jump in to go back up to take out the high yet, because they can still mess you up in here. And they can just come up and do all kinds of nonsense in here and mess you up. So Mr. Powell says the economy seems to be healthy. And he says he loves Trump and Musk. He didn't really say that, guys.
I was not believing you. I had my mic off. He made me laugh for a bit.
Actually, he said he was in love with Ivanka. And he was wishing that he could, yeah, take her out sometime, but he needs to get rid of Trump first.
So Tesla is retreating here. Do you think it'll come down to 235?
We did reach this, sorry, we did reach this gap. Let's see what Tesla is doing. So yeah, I see the possibilities that it could reach that gap. So you have to look at the possibilities of what could happen. And they can see they could even go lower too. There's a order block here. All right, so Tesla, same thing. They're doing it as on the NAS. So we came back into this first gap here. So we can do the same thing. So this is how, like, when I'm scalping these, I can take good quick scalps, because yes, Peter, it is a 1, 2, 3. So I could, you can scalp it, but you take the risk that you could get, you don't get much profit and so forth. But if you feel confident enough, you can do it. I mean, George just did it a while ago in the 4th wave, and it was even a smaller move than that, and he made nice profits. So it is doable, but you have to be nimble, in and out quickly. So is that worthwhile in Tesla to jump in at 240 and get out at 237 for 3 points? I guess so, right? 3 points. It's $900, right? For you with 300 shares.
Yeah, I'm not that adventurous.
So Armin, your question was?
I don't remember my question.
you asked, it's coming down. Is it a
235?
Come down to 235? Yeah, I see that's a stretch now, because I wouldn't expect them to come all that way down. It's possible, of course, because we do have a 1, 2, 3. So it is possible that they could stretch it down there like that. But I wouldn't have expected that, because we're in a 4th wave. So, but it is definitely possible. So with Tesla, so we look at it in the same way. You find the bottom of the move. Here's the bottom. Here's our 1, 2, 3. So this is the controlling guy. This controls the move. Then we get this big move. So yes, it's possible for them to come all the way back down, even down to this level. See? They could even come into this area, which we don't really want to see them come into this area. If it's an impulse type of move, we want to see them bounce off at least this area here. We don't want to see them come in deep into here.
Yeah.
But so that means there is room for them to come all the way down, you see? So this could have been a nice sell to come down, because I've got a 1, 2, 3, so we could get 5 waves down like that. And you see they're doing it. So sometimes it's not a good idea to do it. Sometimes it is. But which one do you take, right?
Well, I'm short Tesla.
So I like it, because that's the way you have to do. You have to take the risk. If you feel that it's possible that you can make it to that level, then by all means, right?
Yeah, I had
An inkling.
I had to take profit order. I'm out now on 100 shares, but I still have 200 more shares to go.
Okay, so another way to look at this as well is if I draw the fib retracement from this low to this high, and I'm looking for, whoops, I always do that. So from this low to this high. So I'm looking for a retracement between 38 to 50% area. So they've certainly gone through. I've got a nice 1, 2, 3, so 3, 4. So that looks reasonable that we should be very close to the end of this move now. So now I'd be more inclined, because we're in an upward mode, to be buying rather than selling. But this would have been a good sell at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm looking at maybe going long at 235 again.
So you see they've come very close to that level. So yeah, it's, you have to gauge it by how you feel about the thing and the look of it as well. I mean, this looks pretty good for that 1, 2, 3, but you're just not sure. There's no guarantee that they're going to do that. They could go like this, and then they could do this, right, and stay right up in that area. They could go this way. They could go this way. So you just don't know. So in this case, they're coming all the way back down. So that works.
Yeah, well.
So I'd look for a turnaround play now back to the upside.
It was a pretty dramatic move to the high there.
Yeah, very, very nice move. That's the move you want. So if you caught this whole move, I mean, I only caught it to 237 here. You catch that move, that's nice. This is nicer, and you wouldn't really want to be jumping back in to go down, but you could if you're brave enough, right? So they did come back to 235. So there we go. So there's another gap even below that one. So I'll move this gap down. Let's see, this guy. Oh, come on. To this gap. So look how far down they've come. That's amazing. So they've come all the way back down. So we don't really want to see them go too much lower than this, because that's getting a bit out of, it's ruining our structure. Our structure, we want our structure to be nice, and nice means a structure where you get this move, and we get this move to go back up and take out the high.
I'll phone them right now and tell them stop it. They're ruining our structure.
Yeah.
Well, I saw
228
this morning. Yeah. So, I'm thinking it still might go down to 220. Like that. There's a gap if you look at the.
I don't think so. I'm
at
sorry.
The 5 minute. If you look at
I'm
the 5
minute. I'm gonna buy Tesla again right now, because I think we're turning around right here and going back up now.
Okay.
So I don't believe you are correct about it going down to take out this gap down here. It's possible. I could be wrong, of course, right? But again, I'm looking at my structure, and my structure says we should turn around and go back up and take out this high again. If I'm wrong, then we're coming straight down and we're taking out all these lows and these lows, and then you're right. But that would be probability-wise, I would say no, not so.
Well, if you look over to your left,
not so fast, anyways, right?
If you look over to your left, there's a gap.
To my left?
Yeah, to the left of the chart there.
On the 1 minute or 5 minute?
On the 5 minute, maybe. It's more clear on the 5. There you go.
So this big huge gap over here.
No, not that one. This
one?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe we're coming down there to come take that out yet. I think we're going to go back up one more time to take the high.
Yeah, you got a red On your right there, some indicators, a red candle, and then 2 green candles. Those are, what are those?
Over here?
Yeah.
Oh, these are my 4-hour candles. These are my
Okay.
last 3 4-hour candles.
Okay.
So I use
All
these
right.
as a gauge to kind of give me an idea what's going on the 4-hour time frame. So I use them since the third last 4-hour candle closed. Then the next candle opened high, gave us a wick or tail, and then moved up considerably. Right. So I would expect the next candle would open, drop back down a little bit, and then give us a move up. It did. So what would we expect for the next 4-hour candle? If we can close above this high, then I would expect another move to the upside. But if we cannot close above this high, then we might stall out. So I'm looking for another push to the upside here.
So do you see a 1, 2, 3 bottom on the 1 minute chart right now?
It's forming, yes. We've got the low, and now we're getting a formation here. So we want to see them break this high, okay, and give us that kind of move here. So I'm jumping in early because I'm taking advantage of smaller risk by doing that. So I jump in early because I've got 5 waves down. I feel like I'm at the bottom. I can jump in on a fractal. Then we can wait for the move to come up, take out this high. That will give us a change of character, retrace back in, entry, go. So we're setting up quite nicely right now. So I'm going to get rid of this gap. Actually, let me just move this gap to here because we've got a gap here. So this gap now comes into play as the gap that we want to use for support to push us back up. And this also has an inverted gap right there. So there's an inverted gap and a regular gap right there. So that's double bonus, and they're almost identical. So I don't really need to mark it. So you see what I'm showing here? There's an inverted gap on this side. The one that was coming down previously starts right here and ends right here. So that's an invert. This one's an inverted gap, it's inverse. And then this one's the regular gap on this side. So an entry could be made if they come back into the gap even at this point to continue going up. But to be precise, you can wait for them to come up and break that high, close above it, and then come back in and then go. But I would still take a buy here anyways.
Yeah, I would concur. I got a buy order at 235.55 here.
235.55?
Yeah.
Might be close. Let's see where, I don't know why I took that gap off. Get that gap going again. Don't know if we're going to go down there. Let's see. 235. Oh, yeah, possible. Possible. Very close. Where's 55? 55. Oh, 55 is below the gap. So you need a wick below the gap to get in. Very close. See, they can wick down there, but they might not take you in. Very close.
There we go. It's gonna go.
You got it?
No, I'm saying it's gonna go.
Super close.
Super close.
Because there's a gap there.
Slice and dice. Oh,
yeah, there's
no.
a gap there, so it's very, very close.
Oh,
They made it 232. It hit 55, but it didn't go through for you, right? So
not yet.
If you have a limit order, it has to go through 55. So you're being very tight there, and so this is a tough one. So because you have a gap, right? you don't want to put your order below the gap. You want to put your order inside the gap. So ideally, midpoint of the gap is the lowest you'd want to go. Really, right? So the midpoint of the gap, whatever that price is at the midpoint of this gap, which is 235.89, that will be a lot more reasonable price. And you get a little bit of a drawdown, but that's okay. And then you catch the move. But you know, ICT says technically you use the one tick above the start of the gap, but I don't like that because I want to be below 50% of the entire move. So yeah, this is a better entry. Let's say midpoint of the gap, right? If that's making any sense to you, what I'm saying.
A little bit. ICT, what's that stand for?
That's the second time you've asked.
Sorry?
ICT is that Michael Huddleston guy.
Oh, okay.
It's the inner circle trader, he's called. So he's got all these little methods and rules and so forth. So they're not leaving here in a hurry. So I'd like to see them leave in a much more of a hurry. So we might not be done. This could be just a fourth wave we're in again. We could be dropping out at time. So you might get your order filled here because they might stop me out. I'm calling this the bottom, but it might not be.
I moved it up to try and take it, but I'm chasing it.
You might be late and they leave. I'm hoping they leave now because I'm in it, of course, right? But yeah, but they might not be done. This was a quick fourth, and then we dropped. So are we done? Do we get out of here? What is the NAS doing at the same moment in time? Similar thing. So NAS is doing the same thing, but again, see the NAS gave us a very quick fourth wave here. 1, 2, 3, very quick drop. So are we done? Is this a legitimate 1, 2, 3 that will take us back out? So we always have to kind of look at it that way. So you remove all these guys because they're no good anymore. So what they did on the NAS here is different from Tesla. They took out the lows here. So they swept the stops here. So that might definitely be the low here. And we could push out. So we're getting a sweep here. And no gaps. So just the order block. So they might just touch the order block and take off. They don't have to come back in here. Because there isn't anything for them to come back to. Well, there is a little bit of a gap here. But that's...
So the order block price, the top of it is about what price are we looking at?
Okay, I'm on the NAS right now.
You're on the NAS there, yeah, okay.
Let's see S&P. So S&P, yeah, the NAS is at Tesla. Tesla's is 236.78. It looks like 236.77 to be exact. So so it's possible that they might not come below the order block. You see, that order block can come into play, and they might just touch it and then go. They don't have to come back in here again because there isn't anything for them to come back in for. So where's my target now, right? My target would be the high.
Okay, well, I just went long at 237.34.
Okay, so hopefully this makes it to the 241 there. Looks pretty good at this point. So there's NAS making a nice move. S&P, same move. So S&P didn't come all the way down to take these guys out. Now they're making that move. And we're 9 minutes away from macro time. So what are they going to do at macro time here today? So you can see the structure on S&P very clearly. They swept the low, sweep this guy, move up, drop back in. They didn't drop back in very far. They actually came very close to the order block, but not even to that. And then they took off. So that gives us a 3. This is our 4. So we should expect them to take the high. Okay. That's same thing on the NAS. Exact same thing. And there's a gap here on the NAS. I don't think there was one on the S&P. Yes, there was. Actually, there's a gap, but it's pretty high up. So I don't like that gap as an entry. But you want the gap to be lower down. So I would use the order block for my entry, but that order block was not even hit. It didn't even come close to getting hit. So this would have been a tough one to get in. Because I'm looking for a deeper pullback, but you don't get it. You only get a shallow pullback, and then they take off without you. So I'm looking for them to take out the high on this move. So on Tesla, it's similar. So we've got a clean 1, 2, 3 at that point. Very clean 1, 2, 3, and then this move up, drop. So I'm looking for them to come back and take the high. They've come back quite a ways down though, so that's a problem. A little bit of a problem because the probability says from this low to this high, if we pull back too deep, it's harder for them to make it up to that high. The shallower the
we might be in
pullback,
wave 4.
easier it is. Makes sense, right?
We might be in wave 4 on the 1 minute chart.
We're definitely in a wave 4, and we're looking to pull out of the wave 4 up into the wave 5. But because they pulled back so deeply, they came back 79% of this move here, right? They came back 79%. It's harder for them to make it up there.
But if we're in wave 4 now, then we're going to drop into wave 5 and then go up.
You're looking at it as wave 4 coming down?
Well, at the bottom of the run.
Here.
At
this point.
On the 1 minute chart.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on the 5. Sorry. Okay. So on the 1 minute chart.
Yeah, it looks like it's going up now.
So from here, I got this little jig here, so I'm calling that my 4, and then boom. Otherwise, this would be a 4, and we could still drop. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. That's a possibility, but so just because of that, I would just move my stop into positive here just in case, and I don't lose. But I don't think they're going to drop it back at this point. But that's definitely a possibility because this was just a little jig at this point. There's not much of a fourth wave here, and then they drop it down. So I get a clean 1, 2, 3 though. So it looks pretty good that we should continue pushing up. I've locked in so I can't lose. But if I can get over 1,000 here, I think I probably had 1,000 there. I would take some off and let the rest just go. So NAS looks good. NAS doesn't look like it wants to come back. S&P doesn't look like it wants to come back. So, but definitely still possible that they could come back. It could still be a fourth wave. We could get to this level here, and we could still turn back down. So this 1, 2, 3 becomes 3, and then we just chop up and down, and then we drop one more time back down. That's totally possible. But again, from the 5 minute standpoint, because I have a 1, 2, 3 bottom, I'm looking at this as a fifth wave that should take us out. We'll take out this high one more time. But doesn't mean that we still can't do this, take out this low, and then turn around and go back up. That's possible, of course. This is what makes this game fun, Peter.
I don't know what your definition of fun is.
But the definition of fun here is trying to figure out what they're doing and trying to beat them at their, you got to be ahead of them or with them, as it were, right?
My definition of fun is when I make money.
Yes.
Losing depresses me.
Yeah. I get it.
It robs my soul.
It doesn't bother me. I don't like
me.
losing, but it doesn't bother me in that way. Because I'm always confident I can make the loss back. So.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but you know what I mean. Losing is no fun.
No, it's not any fun losing on any level.
It's almost like you can hear them screaming, "Gotcha!" But what we have to do is jump up on our nearest chair and scream at the top of our lungs, "Next!"
Well, did I put my stop too tight here? Could get stopped out.
Yep.
Sometimes just putting it to break even is enough, but I'm not a break even fan. I like to get positive rather than zero on a trade.
I don't know how anybody can win at this game without understanding Elliott wave.
Well, it's a structure that I'm looking at, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's tough. Most people who don't understand it, they're just lost because it's all just guesswork. Then I mean, and it's still subjective, maybe with the Elliott waves, right?
Well, the more you stick with it, the better you get at seeing the patterns, properly. I mean, it's just like what we're looking at now on the 1 minute chart. Tesla, the way I'm interpreting it is we had a 1, 2, 3 top, down to 3, up to 4. We're in wave 4 now, going down to wave 5. Okay,
so again, that is definitely a possibility because this little blip here is very tiny for a fourth wave. So this could be the real fourth wave, and we're doing a fourth wave dance. So they're just taking me out for a profit, and we could be in the fourth wave here that just could take us down. That's certainly a possibility. Yes. So yes, I've just been taken out of my Tesla now, so I made a little profit, which is okay. And I've took that because yes, this could be a fourth wave. So I moved my stop in just in case that is a fourth wave and they can come through. So if they come down and take this low, then I'll be looking for the real 1, 2, 3 now to come back up, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So
it becomes
a good call on your part because this 1, 2, 3 certainly when we get here, yeah, it's a fourth wave, but it's not as pronounced as this one, which is more indicative of a fourth wave move. Yeah, they make it look like they're going to go. They give you a nice 1, 2, 3, and it looks great, and so everybody piles in, puts their stops low, and so they come down and take them all out, and it's beautiful. That's just great trickery on their part, but it's not even trickery. It's just the way it is, right?
Yeah, like I say, the more you stick with it, the better you get at it.
So we'd be looking for them to take this low, and that doesn't mean they have to take that low either, right? We would expect them to take that If I can draw it straight, we'd expect them to take that low, but there's no guarantee because sometimes they don't give us that fifth wave. And we've come down quite a bit back into this area, which is not what we really want to see. So it's a very questionable area.
Well, what we're really looking at is looking for is a bona fide 1, 2, 3 bottom.
You need a bona fide 1, 2, 3 bottom, yes. And yeah, looks like we're going to get one setting up here. So NASDAQ must be doing the same, yes, and S&P is doing the same, yes. So we could get some divergence happening here, possibly. So you can see the pattern. You were correct. And when they see a little blip like that, yeah, it's not. We're not really done. So yeah. So we should take out that low. That would give us our sweep, and then we get our 1, 2 to go. So we're at we're at 10 minutes to the hour. Passed. Wow, it's not much movement here. The macro hasn't really done much. Interesting. That came along very quickly. So usually the macro is rocking along here, but it's not doing anything. This is almost the identical move on Bitcoin right now. If they did the same pattern, but they swept here, gave us the 1, 2, dropped it down. So that's more indicative of a fourth wave. And then we should come down one more time, take out these lows. So Bitcoin is doing it in a much more easier to see fashion. They were a little sneakier on the NAS and S&P and Tesla. So what's missing here in this 1, 2, 3?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
What's missing in this 1, 2, 3 right here?
What do you mean, what's missing?
Well, we get it. We have a legitimate 1, 2, 3, right?
Well, not really.
Well, it is.
Well, it is, but it's not.
Just like this one was legitimate, and we were at a fourth wave coming up, right? We have a fourth wave coming up, and that's legitimate. But we're in a fourth wave, and this move down, we get a legitimate 1, 2, 3. But what's missing, and what's missing here as well on this one, is that we didn't get a sweep on this side of anything. There wasn't anything to sweep, right? So that's kind of the missing link.
Yeah.
So
that's not a sweep there.
No, there's no sweep here. So there's a like here, for instance, we get a sweep, and then you get this move up, and you get a sweep. So that's more what we're looking for. That you want to get that sweep on this side.
So a sweep would be like
previous
a red and blue candle together closing.
Previous low. So like here's a sweep. So this candle here, they opened up and they came down and swept it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
They sweep these guys out. So all the stops that are here got taken out, and then they move up.
Yeah. So the candle didn't close in that.
No, it's just that they just wicked it down, took everybody out.
Right.
So and here they did the same thing. They sweep these guys in here, boom, with that red candle. And then so that makes for a more legitimate 1, 2, 3. Not saying that the other ones aren't 1, 2, 3s, they are, but for more confirmation of the 1, 2, 3, that sweep, it really helps. So now they're sweeping. See, they're sweeping now. They're going to sweep this low. So this is a sweep. That's what you want, because there are stops here. So the sweep on this side now is great, because once they do that, you want to see a new 1, 2, 3 here to go back up. So that's what we're looking for. So Tesla should be very close to sweeping as well. Getting there. We're looking for the sweep of that low. If I could mark that, that low. So looking for them to sweep this low here. And let me move this over. So that sweep is a really excellent confirmation that, yeah, we could get a legitimate 1, 2, 3 bottom or top at that time. I can get this. So now I can kind of see the waves here. We got 1, 1, 2 here, and then 3, 4, and then one more to sweep this low. One more drop here to sweep that low would be ideal. S&P has not swept it yet either. Very close to. And then NASDAQ has not swept it.
We have it looks like we have a 1, 2, 3 top on the 1 minute Tesla in and amongst wave 4.
So NASDAQ has swept the low. S&P has not swept the low. Where did the thing go? Thought I put it on the S&P there. Losing my mind, guess. Okay, so S&P has not swept yet. And then Tesla has not swept yet. Okay, there's Tesla. So Tesla has not swept yet. So you're calling this a 1, 2, 3 at this point now, Peter? This move.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't call that a 1, 2, 3. And the reason why is because it's just the fifth leg. So if it's just a fifth leg, then it'll be more chopped up like that.
Okay.
So if you look at this as a 1, 2, 3, then you're looking for it to go way down, which would not be correct. It shouldn't go much more than this. You know, something like that. So a good distance, maybe like that. We just want to see a sweep of this low. And then we can turn around and come back up.
Yeah, I get it.
You see? So if you look at this as a 1, 2, 3, then you're expecting it to go way down.
Well, no. unless we're anticipating that gap ever being taken out.
Yes, and that's again another possibility. So you have to look at all the possibilities, right? That's what makes it fun. Let's see.
Well, it's fun when the more you know, the more you do, the more fun it is.
Yes.
And you have to be not afraid to make mistakes.
No. You don't want to be afraid to make mistakes because you're going to make mistakes.
It's like when you're sitting in your garage at home waiting to go to work in the morning, you're waiting for all the streetlights to turn green. You'll never go to work.
Good excuse, eh? Why are you not at work?
There were 9 green and 1 red, so I stayed home.
All right, so we're at the close. George has been very quiet. George, you still on your phone, or did your computer work?
Yeah, well, I was working myself out of a problem that I caused. I dropped down over 100 handles.
I thought you weren't going to play for the rest of the day.
About 80 of it. But...
Oh, you're breaking your rules and playing more than you should be.
Yeah, I know.
You know what that's called, George?
Yep.
See? The greed factor is set in on you. You don't need to be greedy, right?
That's for sure.
But sometimes the setups are so nice, you think, oh, yeah, let's just jump in again, right?
That's what happens, you know. Play those games and...
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too. So
different way.
I'm guilty of that as well, George. It's
yeah, me too. Me too. Been there, done that.
All in a day's fun.
Yep.
Anyway, I gotta go, Lennox.
All right, Peter.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks for
Good,
dropping in.
Peter.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
So the
good
bell just went.
analysis. Good analysis as usual.
Yeah, it's again, it's fun. You know, if you can try to figure it out and you can get it right, you know, profits are there to be made.
Well, I'm getting better at it. Thanks to you.
Excellent. Good to know. All right, so it's 1 o'clock afternoon here. You know, it's 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock my time on the Pacific Coast. All those guys out there in YouTube land, thanks for dropping in and listening to us. And if this in any way makes any sense to you whatsoever that I'm talking about and showing you bar by bar on the charts, this is what we do every day. And if you like it, give us a like, subscribe, appreciate it. And we're just new, so we'll be here and getting better at this. So we'll go another 8 minutes till the close of the macro, and we'll call it a day. We're in a macro right now. That goes till 10 minutes after the hour. But there's not much movement in the macro today. So I see we just barely swept that low. And so I would need for them to sweep this high to give me a legitimate setup to go long again if I was going to go long at that point. But because they can still drop it down another time, because this is not much of a sweep. We want to see a more definitive sweep. So it could just be playing games here. S&P hasn't even come close to it. Close, but not. Tesla, not close. So Tesla could still, well, Tesla is closed now.
Yeah, the market.
So Armin, that was not a good buy for you at that point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here with my longs and shorts here. So
you can hold for the drop and then a retrace up. You can hold for that. More than likely tomorrow morning they might just pop right up high. Never mind, right? They might open up high. They might just neglect to go down any further, depending on how we finish today here. So if we sweep on the NAS down and then go and make a 1, 2, 3, we could open up high on Tesla tomorrow morning. So it should be interesting to see how the NAS finishes up here. Is that enough sweep for them at this point, which gives us divergence with the S&P? How did our qubit do today here?
yeah, I was going to ask you.
We're down a little bit, but still hanging in there. Almost 8.5. That's pretty good.
So what do you think?
Still looks good. You know, we're hanging in there. I'm looking for them to get up to the 1250 mark, 1250 or higher. So we've got a nice push here. So the next target would be 1144, and then 1268, something like that. So it looks good.
Yeah, I noticed that they seem to have a very tight control on the stock. Like when it moves, it goes, 17, 18, 20%, no problem. Just either way.
Well, we just want it to go up now. Yeah, very strong market right now, but again, it's still looking a bit lean in this fourth wave that we're in here. So I'm calling this a fourth wave. I'm saying that we're going to come back down.
You have to remember that the market's been going down for a few days.
Oh yeah, we're in a big, huge downward move, but you know, we could say that we've got a push back to the upside. We did have a change of character here, but
yeah.
It still looks a little bit lean, and we could collapse. So we'll see how it plays out tonight. We've got quite the wick here. So remember, I was saying if I could get a wick over here, it's still a possibility that we could come back down. So we did get quite the rejection wick here on the hourly. So I'm liking it for a fall.
I forgot to look up what's coming up tomorrow in the way of
news. Not much in the way of news tomorrow for the U.S. Lots of news elsewhere.
Oh yeah, wait, that's today.
Got unemployment claims coming up. So we've got the Governor Bailey.
Unemployment and manufacturing index.
Yeah, that's not red news though. So
and then existing home sales.
That's not red news either. So none of those are red news except for the unemployment claims. So 8:30 tomorrow morning, we'll see what that says, what that does to the market.
Thanks, guys. I got to run.
All right, Stacy. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it.
Take care, Stacy.
See you tomorrow.
All right. Have a great rest of the day.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
You're gonna leave as well. Okay. All right. We can call it a day. Not much going on, anyways. At this point.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Well, Lennox.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take care.
All right, George. Take care.
All right, George.
Have a good rest of the day, George.
I am having real problems with these brokers.
That I can't help you with, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, but you know, just in case anybody in the room has any suggestion. But it's so annoying because sometimes I would try and demo a broker, and then they work fine when you're demo trading, but then when you're trading live now, you realize that, oh, this broker that was fine while the others were freezing, they are now freezing. And you know, it's very annoying to
I don't experience any of that at all, so I can't even relate to that.
Yeah, and you know, I'm starting to wonder because I would fall in the international client category. So normally, when you fall in the international category, you're with the offshore brokers. So the offshore brokers are like in the Caribbean islands, like Bermuda and Antigua and so forth, and St. Vincent and the
Cayman Islands and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if it's not happening to US clients and Canada clients and so forth, you know, it's frustrating. Recently, I was in a chat with in a group, and I asked the question, and this person suggested another broker that they are using, and they are not having any. Well, they say that they don't have any freezing problem with it. So I tried it out, and then initially, I didn't see any freezing, and then all of a sudden it started freezing. And the next thing too, it will happen at certain times, especially certain times, like up to a minute to 2 o'clock today, I didn't have any freezing problem.
And as soon as the news coming out.
Yeah, so as soon as the news chips in, it started to freeze, and then it freezes for like an hour and more.
What?
Yeah,
That's
and
ridiculous.
I'm saying that can't be good because
I thought you were talking about freezing for a minute or so.
No, it freezes for like an hour.
I've never seen or heard of that happening. Boy, it's so
Yeah,
weird. So,
yeah, and it's more than one broker.
You know who I trade with is Axie. Can you access Axie from Jamaica there?
Yes, Axie freezes as well for me.
Oh, Axie freezes for you. Wow, I never.
Yeah, because they are offshore. They are offshore as well. I think they are in
London.
Well, they are in London, but for me, who fall in the international client.
Oh, they're using their Cayman Islands one.
Yeah, so I would be offshore. So I would.
Oh, I see. Okay, maybe that's why, because I've never had mine freeze or anything like that ever. I mean, once in a while I'll get a freeze, but that's because of either my computer is slow or got some indicator on there or something like that that's causing the problem. Maybe you should strip off all your indicators off your charts.
But I did that and it still freezes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just want to. I'm narrowing it down to being an international client, but then if I don't have a foreign address, then I will be categorized as an international client.
Mm-hmm.
So they will always, because they choose depending on your address, they choose to where they will place your account.
I see.
Yeah. So you know, that's how it happens. Yeah, but normally how I try to wiggle around it is use the phone, because what is of interest to is that the phone when you're using the Android MetaTrader app, it doesn't freezes, but you can't analyze the chart from the phone.
Oh.
Yeah, you just can manage and monitor what's happening.
Well, I can't help you there, Omar. The only thing I can say is maybe it's you. They don't like you.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating, but I just share because sometimes you share and somebody might have
a solution there. Yeah. Well, hopefully maybe somebody might out there might know what might be the solution to that, and see. Because we got some YouTubers out there as well, so maybe somebody knows something.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry to keep you, but another quick question. I am in EUR/USD going long from.
Still? Okay.
Yeah. So I break even the trade.
Yeah.
Because I was in from 1.0867, and I'm now break even. So I think I want to hold it to go to the top there.
Yeah.
To sweep those highs.
Yes.
What's your take on the chart?
I like it. I mean, it looks good. That they should continue pushing up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, sometimes you trail your stop.
Yeah, don't put it too tight. I mean, you can put it a little into positive even if you want, but don't go too tight that they could come back and wick you out. Especially at the turnover here at in another hour, right?
Oh yes,
they widen up the spreads and take people out. So,
yes, the spread is.
Yeah, so you don't want to put your stop too tight, and this low here, I'm on the 15-minute. This low could, they could wick down to take those guys out before they leave.
Oh well, I am low. I am lower than that.
Yes,
Because-
your stop's way down here. So yeah, you should be okay with that. I would think yeah, it looks really good. You got a nice gap here that wasn't even in play at all, and we've moved up nicely. So it looks good. I would think that we would continue pushing, and there's another gap in here on the 5, so that looks good too. So yeah, it looks like they're just pushing nicely to the upside here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it from the higher time frames though. Yeah, so like the 1 hour and the 30
Yeah,
minutes.
the hour looks good.
So I'm looking in for a target of 0950.
So you're going to these highs here in this area.
Up there.
Yeah, it looks reasonable.
Yeah, because sometimes I, you find a setup and you come out too early, but at the same time you want to book profit, but it's sometimes a bit challenging to make the decision whether you're going to stay in or come out. But
so you have to play it on the time frame that you're on. So if you're playing the hourly, then you go for the hourly target and so on, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. All right. Yeah. Thanks.
All right, sir.
Thanks.
I hope this plays out for you.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Marquis. Armin, thanks guys for stopping in. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, have a good night. We'll talk to you.
Yeah. Okay. Anytime. Take care.
Bye for now.
All right, Marquis. Take care.
Good night, Marquis.